It was a typical Tuesday afternoon when Lucas Hart's life took a strange turn. A freelance tech consultant by trade, Lucas spent most of his days solving complex problems that others couldn't even comprehend. He was a quiet, analytical guy, comfortable behind a screen. But that afternoon, his phone rang from an unknown number. He almost ignored it, but, for some reason, curiosity got the better of him. He picked up. "Lucas Hart?" a raspy voice on the other end asked. "Yes. Who is this?" Lucas replied, his tone skeptical. "Maybe it was a spam call." "You don't know me, but I know you. You need to listen carefully because you don't have much time. They're coming for you." Before Lucas could respond, the call ended abruptly. His heart skipped a beat. Who was that? His mind raced, trying to make sense of the cryptic message. Was this some kind of sick joke? The voice had sounded far too serious, and Lucas couldn't shake the feeling that something wasn't right. But life went on. He tried to brush it off as paranoia, thinking he might have just overthought things. Still, a part of him couldn't help but wonder. What if the message was real? Later that evening, as he sat down in front of his computer to catch up on some work, Lucas found an unexpected email in his inbox. It was from an encrypted address with no subject line, only a link. His finger hovered over the mouse for a moment. Who would send him something like this? Hesitation gnawed at him, but his curiosity took over. He clicked the link. The video that loaded was grainy, but it was clear enough. It showed a shadowy figure sitting in a dark room, staring straight into the camera. "Lucas, if you're watching this, it means they found you. They've been tracking you for months, waiting for the right moment to strike. You've been unknowingly involved in something much bigger than yourself, and now, you're in danger." The figure paused, as if weighing the weight of the situation. "You need to find the device. It's the only way to stay alive." The screen flickered, and just before the video cut out, the figure spoke one last line. "Run." The silence that followed was deafening. Lucas sat frozen, staring at the screen, trying to process what he had just seen. A part of him wanted to dismiss it as a hoax. But another part of him couldn't ignore the feeling that the video was genuine. The next morning, something felt different. The moment Lucas stepped outside, he had the uneasy feeling of being watched. As he walked through the streets to grab his coffee, he noticed a black car trailing behind him. At first, he thought it was just a coincidence, but the car stayed a few yards behind for several blocks. His stomach tightened with each passing minute. Was this real? Or was his mind playing tricks on him? When he reached the coffee shop, he turned to look, only to see the car stop and park across the street. Whoever was following him wasn't being subtle anymore. They were sending a message. It was no longer a question of what he should do next, he had to figure out who was after him and why. His first instinct was to go to the police, but something inside him told him that they wouldn't be able to help. This wasn't something normal. So, instead, he dove deeper into the mystery, using every skill he had as a tech consultant. He traced the encrypted video, using some of his hacking tools to get more information. What he uncovered made his blood run cold. The video came from a hidden server, used by underground organizations that specialized in the illegal trade of stolen government technology. Lucas didn't understand it at first, but then it clicked. He was somehow connected to a conspiracy that went way beyond what he had ever imagined. After days of frantic searching, Lucas discovered the truth. The device the mysterious figure had warned him about was a piece of technology created by a secret government program. It could decrypt any form of communication, even the most secure ones. And someone had stolen it. If that technology fell into the wrong hands, the consequences would be catastrophic. Whoever had it could control the flow of information on a global scale. Lucas had no choice. He had to find the device before they did. But the task was daunting. The device was hidden in an old, abandoned military facility on the outskirts of the city. The facility was said to be a ghost site, with no one having visited in years. Yet, for reasons Lucas couldn't explain, he knew that's where he had to go. Time was running out, and he had no idea who they were, but he knew they were closing in. He needed help. Lucas reached out to Mia, a hacker he had briefly interacted with online in the past. Mia was a no-nonsense tech expert, and she had her own reasons for getting involved. A few years ago, her brother had gone missing after investigating similar technology. She didn't trust the government, and she didn't trust anyone who had been connected to the stolen tech. Together, they formed an uneasy alliance, determined to find the device before the shadowy figures hunting Lucas could reach it. As they dug deeper, Lucas realized that this wasn't just about a piece of stolen technology. There was a larger game being played, one that would affect the entire world. And now, he was a pawn in it. With the clock ticking, Lucas and Mia set off on their dangerous journey to the military facility. What awaited them there was far worse than they could have imagined. The enemy was already inside, and the final confrontation would determine the fate of everyone they knew.